Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, Chief Astrologer for janspiller.com with your monthly horoscope. And this one's for you, Aquarius. Here we're coming into September and we've got the sun shining in Virgo through the 21st. This is going to make it a great month to balance your budget and review financial agreements with others. Now, there's a real practical energy available that can help you and a current or potential partner focus on honest communications and addressing the realities of your relationship. There's a lot going on this month that leads you to review the past, and especially if you're entering potentially a new relationship, you might have some information to draw on from the past that can guide you. And it's actually not the best month to make big relationship commitments. I'm going to get into that when I talk about Mars retrograde, but it is a time to kind of review where you are now. If you just started seeing somebody or perhaps in a current relationship that you've been in, if you're single, you're probably going to be reviewing what you might want in a partnership or what you don't want, and maybe you don't want a partnership. All of that is up for review this month. So let's start at the beginning though. We've got the Pisces full moon on September the 2nd. That is lighting up your second house of finance and self-worth. This is especially for Aquarius rising people. You could see results from money-making efforts around this time, and you might discover that one of your creative ideas has some earning potential. And this is for all Aquarius. Pisces full moon really highlights creativity. So I see it as a good full moon for artists. And it's a time, if you've been working on something, you might finally see the results, see it come to fruition. It's also an important full moon to recognize your own self-worth and identify situations where you might need to assert yourself to receive what you deserve. And again, it's about diplomacy and gentleness because there's enough assertive energy that I'm about to tell you about with Mars retrograde in Aries. You don't need to bowl people over. I think it's going to be much more effective to be the voice of reason this month. So here's what's going on with Mars in Aries. It's stationing retrograde September 9th, beginning a cycle that's going to go all the way until November 13th. This is such an important astrological event. I made a whole separate video here on the channel. You can check it out. Mars only goes retrograde every couple of years. And so it's a time to really pay attention to. Mars rules our action, our passion, our ambition. Everyone's going to need to check themselves before reacting under this astrology. There's an impulsive energy going on. It can be sometimes combative. You really want to avoid butting heads with people because it usually doesn't come out productively under Mars retrograde. It's better to step back, use your Aquarian skills of detachment that your sign is well known for, so you don't get pulled into other people's drama. Now, what you can do with this Mars retrograde cycle is to work on your skills of diplomacy in the coming months. It's likely that others are going to try to push your buttons, and it's going to be tempting to lash out in anger. However, what you can do to use Mars retrograde to your advantage is direct your anger in a powerful, highly effective way. Go big picture and focus on what you need in the long run. And when you're focused on what you need and what's going to benefit you in the long term, you can circumvent a lot of petty interactions that are just focused on the here and now. You'll realize an explosive reaction in the moment really won't get you where you need to be. So those are some Mars retrograde tips for my Aquarian friends. We've got Jupiter stationing direct on September 12th. It's in the sign of Capricorn, and that can help you to actualize a personal vision that you might have kept kind of a secret while Jupiter has been retrograde. You could have been developing an idea but not ready to share it yet. Now that Jupiter stations direct, I think that you're going to be ready to introduce some ideas. Perhaps you need to make some connections with people who could help support what you're doing. During the final months of 2020, you're preparing for some pretty big changes and growth. There's some big Aquarian astrology. That's a whole other video you can also watch about Saturn and Jupiter moving into Aquarius and beginning in a conjunction at 0 degrees of Aquarius on December 21st. So this is a big time coming up for Aquarians, and so this Jupiter stationing direct is kind of the beginning for you to start moving towards some bigger goals that you've envisioned for yourself, to step up into a higher consciousness, into what you would consider the best version of yourself. So feed your mind, commit to a personal mission, and research some ideas. Now, this month's new moon is going to be in Virgo on the 21st, and it's offering support for your intentions related to intimate partnerships, business agreements, shared finance, could be work, and your physical or mental health. There's a lot you can focus on with this Virgo new moon, and just know that because Mars is retrograde, things could take a little bit longer to unfold, but it's still really important to set those intentions at every new moon. We've got the sun entering Libra on the 22nd. That signals the fall equinox in the northern hemisphere, and it's the spring equinox for people living in the southern hemisphere. And all over the world, Libra season starts on the 22nd. It's an exciting time. The equinoxes are mileposts in our year. It's a time to take stock, acknowledge what's been accomplished, and celebrate it with others. And Jan Spiller wrote a really nice article about the equinoxes. She has written about all the solstices as well, and developed personal rituals that can help you celebrate these times of the year. And we're so lucky to have some of her original writing still on the website. So if you become a member of janspiller.com, you'll be able to check out Jan's Equinox article. And of course, I'm writing all the current content, and you'll get access to a lot of astrological information that I write about each month, including things on the new moon, the full moon, eclipses, retrogrades, all the big stuff. So please check out that link to sign up at janspiller.com in the description of this video. I hope you can make the most of September. Take it easy, be safe, and be well. And I will see you here next month with your horoscope.